Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stacy. And y'all, today I was thinking about something and I'm like, oh yeah. So I have a little story time for y'all. So before we get into the story, please don't forget to like this video, leave your comments down below, and you can share this video. But even if you don't share this video, please share some of the other videos with many people. We still doing the whisper campaign. Just passing it along, passing it along. Just any video that you see that will help somebody else, please pass it along. Okay, y'all. Let's talk. Okay, this story time is about when I found out I was pregnant with Michael, my last one. He just turned 23, so he's 23 now. But this is when I was pregnant with him. I had been dating this guy for about 2.5, almost 3 years. Then we broke up because he got caught cheating. And I can actually give you that story too, honey. But anyway, he got caught cheating and I'm like, So, broke up with him. I guess he wasn't going to take no for an answer. I don't know, but he kind of kept saying, trying to get back with me. And I kept saying no. And in the meantime, in between time, I had started back dating. Then I had met Michael's dad, and we started dating. And when we was dating and everything, I was still having problems out of my ex, but he wasn't like, it's almost like when he didn't have nothing to do or whatever, he would do little stupid stuff. But other than that, he kind of left me alone for the most part in the beginning. But then months down the road, me and Michael dad had been dating for a while, and then we ended up being intimate. I got pregnant. And I remember, I didn't, of course, only my family and friends and stuff knew, but in the beginning, it was no problem. Like I said, I had moved on with Michael dad. My ex was dating, doing whatever he was doing. I don't know, didn't keep up with him, didn't care. Just didn't want him bothering me. Well, when I remember, it was just leading up to being pregnant. Let me back up. When me and Michael dad started dating, I remember our first date. We went to the movies. It started there. We went to the movies, had a wonderful time. We went to see The Jackal, the Bruce Willis movie. So that's how long ago it was. It had just came out. So like I said, Michael's 23 now. But anyway, we had went to the movies, came back later on that night. After Michael dad had left and everything, I get a phone call. It's my ex. And he was like I said, so this was before, I got pregnant. It was just in the beginning stages. And he goes say to me, so how was the Jackal? I'm like, excuse me? No, he said, how was the movie? I said, what you mean, how was the movie? How was the Jackal? Whoa, wait a minute. How you know I went to see the Jackal? Yeah, y'all went to the concession stand, told me exactly what we ordered, told me what we both had on. But like I said at first, before he just said the movies, I'm like, okay. But when he said the Jackal, I was like, whoa, okay, now this is getting to be that is like, oh, so you following me now. So, again, back then I was young, I was a little hothead, and I went off. I'm like, you following me? Da da da. So, some choice words, because back then I was a good cusser. And I done cussed him all the way out, and I'm like, now you can play this game if you want to. He was like, yeah, there's no place I know everything you doing, da 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 da. Okay, but then, back then, I didn't have no fear, so even though that should have been like, girl, wait a minute. Crazy me back then was like, whatever, all right, Nate. He can play with me if he want to. So, okay, that was the first incident. Then it would be like when Michael dad would spend the night or something, or he would call the next morning, saying that you know how guys like that end finally, that Negro gone, da 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 da. It was just he was just doing stuff, just doing stuff, and again, it was always something. If it wasn't little notes left on the front door, on my apartment door, there might have been something left on my car. I remember one day he got ready to leave. He came over one day, Michael dad, and when he got ready to leave, somebody had threw some trash out by his car, and but you live in an apartment complex, you don't think nothing of it. It would just be little things here and there that I never really gave notice to. And then I remember when I had gotten pregnant. Like I said, nobody knew but, of course, us and my family or whatever. But, of course, my ex didn't know nothing about it. I thought he had left me alone because he kind of... I know one time I ran into him... Well, actually, let me back up. This was when I was pregnant at this time, but I can't remember how far along I was, but I do know I went to the grocery store. And at this time, I was living in Clarkston. And I went to the grocery store, and it was some things that had happened with his brother, and kind of find out it was with his brother and the guy that used to be maintenance over in the apartment complex that I was living in. But he was no longer maintenance there, but he still, again, we was in Clarkston, a small little town, And I would run into different ones all the time because, again, I had been living there for a while. He knew people, I knew people. But I remember I ran into the guy, and he was asking me where was my ex. Had I talked to him? Did you hear what happened? And I had heard it was an incident that took place with... This happened so long ago, so I can tell it now. But it had happened where his brother and him, my ex, had went to do a deal, and it went bad. And apparently, the people that they went to meet had no intentions on following through with the deal, but they was gonna, rob them or whatever. And it turned ugly, and someone in the brother ended up. It was either him or it's like you either get him or you get got. So he ended up self-defense, basically, kind of sort of how it went. But I know he ended up shooting the guy. And the guy ended up dying. He eventually turned himself in, and he has done his time. I don't know. Like I said, that was 23 years ago, so I don't know. That was over 23 years ago, so I don't know what has happened since then. I don't know where nobody at now. But back then when that happened, and the guy that used to be maintenance was sitting up there talking to me, and I'm in the store, and I'm saying like, did you hear what happened? And it was his brother-in-law that this happened to that got killed. And I'm sitting here like, so you don't know where they at? And at this time, he hadn't turned himself in. My ex's brother hadn't turned himself in. So dude up here like, you don't know where he at? You ain't heard from them. They looking for... we're no longer together. I don't know where he... I'm whole pregnant and big and with somebody else. I'm in a whole nother relationship. And it's almost like he kind of... And me and her was cool, so I didn't know how to take it because he was like, if he don't turn himself in soon... our folks gonna start sending messages. What that mean? What you mean by y'all gonna start sending messages? So now, of course, my nerves back because I'm like, I'm no longer with him. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But why did you say that to me? Like you was kind of slick trying to give me a threat or something. So anyway, when that happened, Now I'm mad, and so back then I knew a truckload of folks. So now I'm letting everybody know what's going on, because see, now I got to make sure me and mine are good. We cool, we cover. And I remember somehow my ex, I guess he got word of it, that I had ran into the guy, and the guy was, like I said, it sounded like a little threat. But then he reached out to me. I don't know what y'all got going on. That's when he told me the whole story. Well, y'all whatever need to be done, but I don't need nobody doing something to me, because they know me and you used to be together, and they're trying to get to your brother. So it's like by any means necessary. So I don't know how any of that went down, XYZ. I just know it was like, y'all good, da 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 da. Okay. So now my antenna's up. Now I'm paying attention to everything. But like I said, back then I was a single mother, so I'm always observant. Okay, time goes on. Like I said, then I found out the brother turned himself in. Don't know what happened. Like I said, it just, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have any more problems concerning that. But the ex wouldn't leave me alone. And then one day I had to go to the library. I went to the library in Clarkston, and when I come out, he is out there by my car. So I'm like, move, da 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 da. He wanna talk. I'm like, no, Stacy, can we talk? No, we can't talk. I'm done with the talking. And his whole thing was, you really ain't gonna give me another chance. I done gave you too many chances. That's the problem, and that's why you can't take this as being this last time was it. But either way, move out my way. I gotta go. So he got mad at me. I got in the car, locked the door. He trying to snatch open my door. I wouldn't let him. It was locked and everything. So he spits on my car. He just spit on my car. So to me, that's extremely disgusting. But I'm like, okay, that's like spitting on me. You spit on my car. That's like spitting on me. So now, man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Again, y'all gotta remember, this is 20-something-year-old. This 27-year-old Stacy, okay? This 27-year-old Stacy. This ain't 50-year-old Stacy. This wasn't even 35-year-old Stacy. So 27-year-old Stacy. So when he spit on my car, and I was mad, I'm cussing, acting a fool. Good thing he jumped out the way, cause I was finna tag him. Good thing he jumped out the way. And so of course he cussing and acting a fool all in the background as I'm speeding off. Cause had he not moved, I'm trying to tell you, I was gonna knock him up in a tree somewhere. Real talk. God watches over babies and food, and I was not no baby at the time. So when you angry, you young, you do foolish things, and that was a foolish thing, because had I did hit him, the charges that would have came behind it, and I'm pregnant, he didn't know at the time. It just, so again, God watches over babies and fools. Okay. I went through, after that happened, then it was the constant calling, hanging up, calling, leaving messages, constantly calling, just stupid stuff. And then by this time I was starting the show. And one day I had ran my errands, and I went to the mailbox. Stopped at the mailbox on the way in, going into the apartment. And didn't he know he was behind me in the car? Because again, I'm focused. I wasn't even paying attention. I honestly don't even remember. I didn't hear the car pull up, but he was in the car behind me. But I ain't paying attention. I guess I'm at the mailboxes. A lot of cars pull up. People get their mail. My mailbox was on the back side. So I was over there getting my mail. Got my mail out the mailbox. When I walked around, I'm looking down at my mail as I'm walking, and I bumped into him. Y'all, my heart dropped, because at this time I was showing, my stomach was big, and when I bumped into him, it scared the out of me. And he looked down. He was like, "What? You pregnant?" And I couldn't say that. I was stuck. And the look on his face was sheer disappointment, anger, it was just a whole bunch of everything in his face at that time. And I remember he just proceeded to go off. Talking about, I'm up there pregnant by this, this end, and here it is. We were together for almost 3 years, and I never got pregnant by him, and but then I go and meet this African, and because Michael's dad is African, and you go and get pregnant by him, Oh, he was just going off. And he was so mad because, like I said, when I met him, Beverly was a little baby. So Beverly was like he like clinged to her like that was his baby. So he was so mad. And like I said, it was a whole bunch of stuff I saw in his face. I saw the hurt, I saw the anger, I saw the disgust, I saw the disbelief, I saw it all. But I'm just stuck because I'm like, at this particular moment, I don't know what this man finna do. I couldn't argue back. I was like, really, I was kind of shocked, but it was like shock / a little, I was scared because I had never seen that type of anger before. Even with him being mad with all the other stuff, I never saw this look. So I'm like, I don't know what he finna do. And he was, like I said, he just proceeded to keep going off, whatever. Then finally he was like, this effed up, you foul, and all this stuff. And he ended up just walking off. He knocked all the mail and stuff out my hand. I had my keys in my mail, because I had turned the car off to go walk to the mailbox. He had knocked my keys and all my mail on the ground, and was just cussing. He walked off, stormed off, jumped in the car, and sped out, burned out. So, I'm picking up my stuff, heart beating fast. I pick up my stuff, I get in the car. I'm shook, to be honest. I'm shook. I make it back to my apartment. And I was like, and there was a lot of other incidents in between with him constantly bothering me and following me and stuff. It was a lot of incidents. I just gave y'all a few of them. But it was at that time, like I said, I think that was enough. He wasn't from here. He was from New York. So when that happened, his brother was locked up, and it was just him and his brother. And he had some cousin stuff, but him and his brother was like this. So the brother was locked up. This happened. Next thing I know, I got a phone. I was like 2 days later. 2 days later, I was leaving, and he apparently was coming in my building as I was leaving out, and again, scared again, because I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, but at this particular time, because now I'm like for real scared, and because of his reaction, I started carrying a knife, being honest. I started carrying a knife. So, and then when I would go to the car, I would have, anytime I was out and about, I would have my knife ready, as well as my pepper spray. So I'm headed to the car. He coming in the building. Bam. When I push open the door, he right there, scared out of me again. And I'm like, I jump, and I'm like ready to go. He's like, you ain't got to do all that. I'm sorry. And then he was like, that's what he told me. And it's like, he looked like he was broken. He did. He said, I just come out to tell you that actually I was finna put this on your door. It was a note he had in his hand. He was like, but here, you can read it, but, I'm just letting you know that I'm leaving today. I'm catching a bus on back up to New York. Ain't nothing here for me. My brother gone. You definitely gone, even though you been gone, but you gone for sure now, because, you finna have this another man, baby. I can't even do this because I can't keep, I see you too much. And every time I see you, it's doing something to me. And I'm saying, he like, so I'm leaving. And I'm saying to myself, well, I'm sorry. This was never aimed at you. We was over and done with. My life moved on. But I'm like, dog, you gotta leave the whole state. If I ever here live. But then I'm like, yeah, thank you, Lord. He finna leave the whole state, because I can't keep living like this. So he said his goodbyes. Wasn't no hugs and none of that stuff. It was just a simple goodbye. You take care. And he like, yeah, you do the same. I wish you well. All right. And he left. And y'all, it really was after that easy. He left. He didn't bother me. I didn't bother him. And probably, I don't even know how many years, probably about 10 years, 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I ran into the old maintenance guy. And he remembered, he knew me, and he remembered me immediately. And I'm like, I knew his face, but I could not remember his name. But you know, he reminded me who he was and everything, because I'm looking like, I do know him. And that's when he was like, oh, gee, here we go again. And he was like, you know, just seeing how I was doing, how everybody was doing. You was pregnant last time I saw you, weren't you? When you was the last you were living in Clarkston, didn't you have another baby? Yeah. And at this time, like I said, Michael was probably about 12 or 13, something like that. So I just told him how old Michael was, and he was like, you know, everything was everything. Everybody, you know, he been left Clarkston, yada yada, you know. And I ain't heard nothing from my ex. I don't want to say no names. I ain't seen them. I'm like, well, neither have I. Take care. And that was that. But y'all, let me tell you something. That was, I got some escapades. I done been through some stuff with some people. But that was yet another one. Like, my thing is, this is what I had said this whole time. When you had me, you played games. And because of my heart, even then, I was, you know, I didn't give people too many chances. I give them way more chances now than I did then. But it's like, when you had me, you played. And when I finally said enough was enough and I got on and went on about my business, then you want to harass me. I don't know why people do that. But like I said, when I look back over that whole situation, all I could do is tell God thank you. Because that could have went so many ways, so many different times. And when I look back over every situation that I've shared with y'all or haven't shared, I know for a fact God had his hedge of protection around and about me and my children, and I knew I served a higher purpose. I knew I was here for a purpose. And y'all, I'm telling you, it goes back to so many things, you know, the red flags, but even there wasn't red flags in the relationship other than we were both young. He was younger than me, and he was a habitual cheater. And I'm like, enough is enough. What you won't do is play games and cheat on me, have me out here looking stupid in these streets. So, you know, that's how that ended. That's how that went. And like I said, I couldn't even tell you where he at, how he doing, if he alive or what. I can't tell you nothing. Don't know if he back here in Georgia, if he's still up north. I have no idea where that man is, and I thank God, keep it like that. Don't want to know, but I'm telling y'all, the stuff I done been through, y'all, some of the stuff I done been through is all I can say. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this little story time. And yeah, y'all. It's more to come. I love y'all, my BSSTs. Please don't forget to like this video. Leave your comments down below. And you can share this video if you would like. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I see you on when? Tomorrow. Bye.